Some may perhaps think of Jesus as something of a clown. He certainly behaved differently from everybody else, and it was hard to ignore him. And he made a lasting impression on people. Others might scoff at the notion that Jesus has anything to say about our lives 2,000 years after his death, or that he has anything to do with how we live it. But we have a different notion. Jesus has a lot to say about life as we know it, and he has everything to do with how we live it.
Listen closely, all of you. When you see anyone who needs help, treat him or her as you would treat me. By doing unto the least of these people, you are serving God.
We found the Spirit of Jesus alive and well on the Gulf Coast, in communities that are gradually returning to former vitality, in homes restored to their original charm, in the way in which strangers are befriended by Mississippi brothers and sisters, in acts of kindness and compassion, in hope rising from the rubble. On August 29, 2005, Hurricane Katrina slammed into the Gulf Coast with a fury matched by few storms in the United States in the past century. The city of Biloxi was inundated with a wall of water 20 feet high, marked today by the height of a memorial not far from the beach. Thousands of people died. In Mississippi, 70,000 homes were destroyed, and an additional 100,000 homes suffered significant damage. 45 million cubic yards of debris, enough to cover 230 football fields 50 feet high, had to be removed. Carted away like so much landfill were the possessions of people like our new friends at First Missionary Baptist Church of Biloxi, who welcomed us to Palm Sunday worship.
I woke up and outside it looked like it was going to rain. We went to church and just as I thought, it started to rain. The church is so small, but the congregation is so lively. That happens a lot in the South. The service is 2 hours long. We met someone who is 100 years old. Can you believe that? We couldn't believe that congregation.
What strong faith they have to start and carry on even after losing everything, not blaming God for sending tragedy, but thanking God for giving new life. Back Bay Mission of the United Church of Christ lost almost everything too, and with incredible faith is starting over and carrying on.
Because Hurricane Katrina destroyed 6 of our 7 buildings on our campus, which included all our volunteer housing, we had to come up with something so that we could start receiving all of you who were so eager to work. So this was our answer. And we'll get to keep these as long as the city allows it.
Since Katrina, Back Bay Mission has organized thousands of volunteers from churches like Pilgrim all around the country to help rebuild private residences. We feel fortunate to be sent from Pilgrim to provide that help. Maybe our experience will inspire others to do something when they get the chance.
I assure you that unless you change and become like children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. The greatest in the kingdom of heaven is the one who humbles himself and becomes like this child. And whoever welcomes in my name one such child as this welcomes me.
If you think about it, when we were working to restore the 3 houses in Biloxi and Gulfport, we were just doing what Jesus would do. In a very real way, every volunteer becomes a servant Jesus, offering compassion, hope, and a little bit of love to the hurricane victims.
One morning we got started on a new work site. The whole house had to be cleared out so that the walls could be painted and a new floor put in. It was unbelievable how much stuff was in all the rooms, but we worked hard and got it done.
Well, Chris showed me first how to go ahead and put the plates in for the window. Then we put the molding. Then we also had to cut it a special way because you had to jig these things out. This is very intricate. Now this has been passed on for generations to Chris, from father to grandfather, and Chris showed me, but he didn't show not everybody. It's like a family secret.
You had to cut it twice sometimes because Jay measured it. Was that it?
Jay did.
Jay measured it, so you had to remeasure from it.
That's right, but we got it in there.
Now, what kind of boss is Chris? Does he treat his help right?
Yeah, he's good. He's tough. He's tough, but he's fair.
What do you think, Chris? You got some good help here?
Yeah,
How did Bill do?
he was great.
After breakfast and devotions, we go to the work site as fast as we can. We get there and go right to work. At the work site, we have to finish sanding and painting. I get to start painting instead of sanding. When everyone starts painting, we get 2 rooms done, but there's a lot more to do.
And in a very real way, each victim of Hurricane Katrina becomes a servant Jesus, offering compassion, hope, and a little bit of love to the volunteers.
Hey, Lucius, what's the name of this restaurant?
I tell you what, you really want to know the name of it?
Yeah, what's the name of the
Brother
restaurant?
Love.
Huh?
Brother Love Restaurant.
Brother Love Restaurant?
That's what my name used to be, Brother Love.
Brother Love. Folks, meet Brother Love Lucius.
Yeah.
And I came out to the roof and was here 4 days and had 20 feet of water surged in that tree there. I said, if it get any higher, I was gonna be in that tree.
When volunteers and victims are brought together by the grace of God, becoming servant Jesus for one another, miracles happen.
So we all had a hand in this room. This room is pretty much finished. So, but every window frame you see, and I think they're pretty much all done now except for the kitchen one, we're done. Doors, so Jay had to put on 2 bathroom doors. So anyway, all the framing's been done in here. They're working on the top of the closet. And we found that a lot of the rooms are not square, which has made it a bit of a challenge to do all kinds of framing. That's the only window that's left unframed, but doors hung and cabinets in here.
Dear Back Bay, thank you for the wonderful miracle your volunteers have made possible for the Bearden family. When I initially interviewed Mrs. Bearden, my heart was so burdened because I knew her desperation, yet also knew the condition of the homes in the Gaston Point area. As very few organizations would commit to such extensive rehab, I was afraid to even offer her hope. 2 of the most rewarding moments I have had since Katrina are, 1, when Back Bay agreed to accept this project, and 2, viewing the wonderful work your organization has accomplished. It is moments like these that encourage me and make it worth the heartache and the challenges.
After a long day of work on Monday, Thursday, we go to dinner at Seashore Mission. We have yummy noodles, and it's ice cream night. I get a Choco Taco. Afterward, we have a special Monday, Thursday service on the beach. It makes me cry to know that Jesus died for us. Next, I am tired from the big day. I go straight to sleep.
Our worship together on the Gulf Coast, whether on the beach or with our Mississippi brothers and sisters, or with one another every morning, kept us focused on the meaning and purpose of what we were doing and why we were doing it. We were just doing what Jesus would do, and if he were alive, he would be doing it with us. In fact, we found the Spirit of Jesus alive and well on the Gulf Coast, even when we were clowning around, perhaps especially when we were clowning around.
The servant does not deserve thanks for obeying orders, does he? It is the same with you. When you have done all you have been told to do, say, "We are ordinary servants. We have only done our duty."